Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So tonight's question is Doug really alive on Beyond the Gates? I gotta sit there and say, out of all five of the cliffhangers, Beyond the Gates was actually the best one. Amy's in the chat, Blackmon's in the chat, how you doing tonight? Sean is in the chat. Oh, well, that was my own personal intro. Um, since I can't use the intro for Beyond the Gates because it's CBS property and CBS are a bunch of stingy dicks. Um, I decided to sit there and make my own intro since it wasn't General Hospital. Only use the General Hospital one when it's General Hospital. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Yep. So I had to sit there and use my own intro. CK is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Ariana's in the chat. How you doing tonight? I hope you are well. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming through tonight. I'm good, Black Mon. I actually survived today, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, unfortunately, Sean, that's what happens when you're dealing with a company that's well, a bunch of stingy ass dicks. So yeah. But see, that's the question though, right? Is that Doug? Right? Is it Doug? Is it his twin brother? Is it a brother that we don't know? Yeah, well, unfortunately, it is what it is. But it's no sweat. Whenever I do General Hospital, I like their intro anyway. So Ron is in the chat. Oh, okay, Ron, sure. I'm great. Glad you. Yeah. Listen, those 4 o'clock in the morning wake up calls are hell. They are hell, but it is super rewarding when you get out. It is super rewarding when you get out. It could be. It could be that too. You're absolutely right. It could be her imagination, you know. But I will sit there and say, Beyond the Gates was actually killing it this week. They were, listen, for a show that I give a lot of crap to, yeah, earlier and earlier, exactly. Well, okay, so Spider Quake says, I told you Doug is alive. I hope it's real, and he has been in hiding. FYI, haven't seen GHR Beyond the Gates yet. I will later. I heard Britt took Rocco and stuffed Liz in the closet. I got to see that later. Yeah. No, Ron, I don't. I don't agree with you about Anna. I think Anna is a stupid, selfish cow. Okay, she only did that so this way she could continue to live her lavish lifestyle. Okay, and she wound up fucking over Tony as well. So no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with dingbat, idiotic, dumbass cow Anna. I don't. But I'm glad you like her, so that's cool. Why is it so goddamn slow? What's good, Latasha? Yeah, like they were. Listen, and that's the thing, CK. You know how I feel. You know the comments I've been sitting there saying towards Beyond the Caves. Okay. Um. So I will sit there and say that they definitely turned it around. And you know what, CK? A stupid, selfish cow like Nina. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna lie. Anna on Days of Our Lives is actually, yeah, I think they're both kind of stupid, selfish cows. Yeah, I was like, yeah, they're both dingbats. Um, yeah. But yes, Beyond the Gates has gotten a lot better, and you know why it's gotten better, CK? Because of me. Yeah. I have been on their ass, roasting them like there's no tomorrow for nearly a whole year. And I think somebody at CBS is like, it was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should actually do something about that. So they did. Um, but yeah, they're. I just sit there and think about that for a minute. I was like, they're kind of. I was like, yeah, they're like they're dingbats and different avenues. But yes, could be a dream. It could be a twin brother. Could be a twin brother. Yeah. So I feel like they're good because of me now. I'm gonna be honest. And maybe I'll make 1 second, Ron. Let me answer your other question. I may make a short out of this, but I feel like Jack was kind of being selfish. Um, the anniversary of his other daughter that died, and now he wants to sit there and make peace. And it's like, no, you just want to sit there and make yourself feel better. You had all that time to sit there and try to have a relationship, try to build a relationship, but you didn't take it because of your damn wife. That's what that came down to. You were more concerned with how your wife felt than um than your daughter's concern. What's good, Tracy Steve? And what I was gonna sit there and say is quite quick, which I don't know if he's still here. That may not be Doug. Because the first thing he came in here and said was Doug is alive. I was like, how do we know that that's Doug? How do we know that? We don't know that's Doug. It could be Doug Swim. Remember, I sat there and I was like, oh, well, that's the real Nathan. And it wasn't Nathan. It was Cassius. Which, by the way, they keep fucking up his name so many damn times. They keep messing up. Well, everybody is saying his name differently. And it's making it really difficult to like pronounce his name or say his name right. I mean, Nina is about stupid to continue to shut up Jack for her psychotic daughter. This is why I call her can't get right because like you had one simple assignment, you fucked that up. Um, you you dead ass fucked that up. Um, and the sad thing was that wasn't even the worst part, or that wasn't even the stupidest part of the episode today of her not injecting Jack. The stupidest part of the episode was Britt being talked into, or Britt being convinced by a teenager to take him on a run with you, knowing that you have Huntington's. Like, what are you doing? Like, you had like, if you've been blaming yourself for this whole thing, getting Rocco involved in the shooting and everything like that, why the hell would you sit there and get him involved and fleeing? Let his parents do that. His parents are fucking. Oh, I don't want my parents to get hurt. Oh, okay. You don't think they're gonna not get hurt? Them being there and poor Charles looking for you? Like, I'm like, Britt, you're the adult. You had one moment to sit there and act like a goddamn adult. You chose to do the exact opposite. However, in my opinion, that was one of the best scenes in the episode. Um, it just it's just like, oh my god, so dumb. I mean, are you really asking me that question, Ron? Like, I'm just saying, like, are you really asking me that question? Like, is that a serious question? Are you trolling me? Yeah, but it's funny though. At that time, I mean, I know it was Nina, but it. I look back at that and I was like, it was really Phyllis. It was really Phyllis. Like, that. Michelle Stafford, I felt like she didn't know how to play any other character other than Nina. And so I'm glad that they had Cynthia Waters on and she went back to Y&R. Why Michelle Stafford left Y&R to play Nina, I would never understand that. And I know she could be like, oh, well, it was for artistic reasons and I wanted to challenge myself. And I was like, no, girl, you already had a good thing going. You fuck it up and you go on another show where, Elise Phyllis was more or less kind of star in that show in a sense. Like, you go to General Hospital, especially back then, you were still kind of in the shadow of Carly and Sonny and Jason. And yeah, they gave her own stuff or whatever, just like, looks, looks, Ron, looks. That's just she sees in them, looks. But it didn't matter because Liam already fucked up anyway, so he chose the money over her. So, I don't even remember what I watched after. Huh. Uh, I felt like I watched something after the soap operas, and I don't remember what it was. I remember the last thing I watched was Bold and Beautiful, which that's. I wait until I get some of my Bold and Beautiful fans so we can sit there and talk about that. But um, also I said this in my review, but I don't know what's going on with the actor that plays Ethan. Right? Sunday. Saturday I'm going out for Memorial. But Sunday we definitely doing something Sunday. Um, Either Jonathan's going to come in with his surprise, or I got something planned. But either way, it's gonna be a good Sunday. So it's gonna be a good Sunday. So hopefully you'll be able to come through. Last Sunday was really fun. Of course you will. Of course you will, Ron. It's just more the blow up about what's gonna wind up happening after that. And I probably want to talk about this again when Ed and maybe Jonathan comes through, but like, it's just like, yeah, like I said, Jack is just being selfish. Like, yeah, he wanted to come over and be like, you're my daughter and everything, and try to make this whole heartfelt thing, but it really just, oh, okay, cool, Sunday, all right. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Let's make sure that we have fun. So we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. So, and it'll be even more fun because it'll be celebrating your birthday. So that's what's up. It wasn't even just that. Like, Tony is sitting there trying to convince Gabby to run Demero, but now Tony got to sit there and worry about if when Gabby finds out, she can be like, "Yo, listen, I'm not working for you," and he doesn't want Johnny in the CEO position. He doesn't really have people that he could sit there and trust to run the company. So he's like, "You screwed me over," and she's like, "I didn't think about that." I was like, "Anna, how often do you actually think about anything? Because you seem like you mostly think about yourself." But she's sitting there thinking that Theo says something, and I'm like, okay. Days was a trip. I wish that I did have some time to sit there and do some reviews on it because I definitely would have called out a couple of people. It was some people I definitely would have fucking called out. Um, Crazy, crazy, crazy. I was just gonna say Days was decent, and I saw the previews. And Ron, if you didn't see the previews, well, just watch the previews. Is Hope's decision if she wants to leave Forest Over sign the paper and not listen to that. Listen, I love me some Donna, but Donna is acting like a dumbass though, and she's just like, no, your mom got a plan, and if you leave, how would that affect your mom? I was like, how about if she stays? How would that affect Hope? And the thing is, she's not there bitching at her mom because her mom didn't stand up for her, even though she's a grown ass adult. But then she goes to Logan and she complains about it, and they're like, "Yo, listen, you can not have to deal with that." So I'm like, "Why don't you just stop dealing? Why don't you just stop dealing with bullshit? You bitching and complaining, but you have an opportunity to sit there and do something better, and you're standing there with that dumbass look on her face that she always has. This level of fucking cluelessness where it's like." I don't understand how anybody in their right mind, like I don't like to be the opinion police and tell other people what to think, but it's very hard for me to imagine people that are Hope fans because it's like, how do you sit there and just look at her, just look like a dumbass when she has the opportunity to do something better, and yet there's a pen, there's paper, and hand ready to go, and they're like, you know what? Listen, we even sit there and tag on your brother. We even tag on your brother, and she's just still looking like this clueless little girl. Um, yeah, I'm too lazy to do that. There you go. Well, yeah. Now she exactly. I think this was today or yesterday, but when he dipped, she was like, "Okay, cool. So I helped you, I saved you, and everything like that, and that's how you gonna do me." So she wound up calling Victor, like, "Yo, listen, I heard you looking for Matt Clark," and Phyllis is acting like the. But somebody who is in their fucking 60s, it is just laughable to sit there and see how she's like, I'm not giving up. I'm not rolling over. I'm like, okay, cool. Have fun going to jail. And I love the people that are sitting there rooting for Phyllis. It's like, how are you rooting for somebody who's literally taking a company from somebody else? Like, yeah, we all know that Victor does it, but we never actually seen him do it. And when we do, it's just, it is what it is. But like, I can't feel bad. I can't sit there and root for Phyllis or feel bad for her when, she's threatening to go to jail. It's like, well, what do you think is going to wind up happening? Like, in what universe do you honestly think you want to steal somebody's company and just be like, nah, that's cool? Like, no. And I really just don't care about Claire and Holden. I like Holden as a character. I think Claire can sometimes just be kind of stupid. Um, she'll ask really dumb questions where it's like she knows the answers to, or is really surprised, like, will Grandpa really do that? Like, I don't know. Jordan was literally spent there training you from birth to do your research on Victor, and yet you're asking Nikki, oh, but Grandpa wouldn't really do that, would she? I mean, I'm like, would he? I'm like, just, I don't understand that. I don't understand that show sometimes. Yeah. And now she doesn't have anything. And now she's simply just looking stupid. Meanwhile, Lauren's like, yo, listen, you need to sit there and let this go. Like, is this worth it? Is this worth your kids? Is this worth you going to jail? And she's just with this dumbass look on her face, like, I'm not gonna lie, if they actually go through with this whole manslaughter charge, I'm like, Days of Our Lives should be canceled. Like, Days of Our Lives should be canceled if they literally go, like, I've read the law when it comes to cyberbullying, and it's a lot more than just simply posting online that somebody needs to delete themselves. Um, and with their history of back and forth, it's damn near impossible to sit there and prove that. So if they actually go through with a whole fucking court trial, it's like, yo, this show needs to be canceled. Like, I know it's technically off the air because it's not on, network television, but I'm like, no, this shit needs to be gone because I know this show is built off fantasy, but like this show is just getting to a point where it's like nothing is just making sense. Nothing is making sense, and they're just doing it anyway. And I'm also sick and tired of seeing Gwen. I'm also tired of sitting there seeing Gwen constantly, begging for Xander's attention because she has daddy issues. Because she just needs to be accepted so bad by a man. And I get it on some level, but I'm sick and tired of seeing it. Like some of the stuff that they do sometimes, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, and who is this supposed to entertain? Like he literally told you that he was still in love with Sarah, which is annoying. You're like, nah, cool. Let's do this. Let's have meaning. Let's have value to our hookup situation. I was like, girl, do you know what a hookup is? Like, I don't really understand. I don't. Yeah, so much stuff wound up happening this week. I was like, you know what? Let me come on. Let's talk about this for usual. Why do they need to bring back Aaron Green? What is Aaron Green going to sit there and bring to the show? Aaron Green has never brought anything to the damn show. To be honest, they used him as a damn plot device, which didn't even make any sense then. Like, none of that makes any sense. Like, only valuable member on that show is Kat. Okay, they use Felicia just as a way to sit there and say diversity points. And granted, they could give her a story. They could give her a story and something that has meaning and substance, and they can do it in a way where it doesn't come across as a PSA, but make it a good story. But they choose not to. So, like, stop constantly Smith there talking about Felicity this and Felicity that. It's like Felicity has been seen in like months. Stop using her goddamn name. The sad thing is that I don't even feel. What's good, Krista? What's good, Crystal? I don't even feel bad for Ashley at all. Like, I feel nothing for Ashley because, honestly, to tell you the truth, Ashley, you treated Derek like shit. You treated that woman like shit. I mean, you treated that man like shit. The minute he moved in with you, you were nagging him about this. You was having arguments with him about that. Don't put this. Don't throw out this. Don't like, yo, relax. This dude is literally sitting there trying to do everything to sit there and make you happy. You are constantly sitting up there just like berating him. And granted, yeah, Derek was not perfect. He did sit there and lie about his leg movements to keep Ashley in his life from going to Andre. So, he was an eternal loser. Don't get it twisted. But I'm like, you use that whole thing as an excuse to push him away because you want to get with Andre. So now she's sitting up there tearing up and crying and realizing that she treated Derek like shit. And I'm like, yeah, you did. So Naomi, I get Naomi wants to sit there and try to be like, no, you can't go back and say this. You can't go back and say that. I was like, no. Naomi, let this chick take accountability for her treating this man like shit. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, those whole tears and everything like, no, I don't care. Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh yeah, and no, no. We're not doing that. Like Ashley was already a norm before, and now she's just like her scenes are just like bottom line, she treated him like shit, and she pushed him away so the way she could sit there and get with Andre. and she only kept him around. The only reason why she actually decided to go back out with him was because she felt bad for him because he was in a wheelchair. I never like Ashley. I can't deal with that with the actress. Yeah, she's also not really a good actress, though. There goes you and forget that cousin Alora was. Oh, okay. So Alora's my is my cousin now. I didn't realize that he was my cousin wrong. But yeah, she's she's not a good actress. But yeah, I also again I didn't give a shit about that Katerian stuff. But I mean, again, the rest of it. Well, she's not a nice person. Oh, really? What is she rude and nasty to her fans or something like that, or difficult to work with? I guess. What's going on with that? She's literally like on a startup show. Like seriously. I completely with you, Robert. She is not a very good actress. She could barely cry on cue. Yeah, but even just like her lines and her personality, it's just like I mean to be honest, there are a good couple of people that is not on that show isn't really great actors. Uh oh, yeah, you're not talking to me. Never mind. But have you been watching any clips of General Hospital, Sean? Have you been able to sit there and catch any clips to kind of keep up with what's going on? No, I had a personal run-in with her over a family member, and she thought, who is she would had a personal run-in with her over a family member, and she thought who she is would change how medically things are. Oh hell no! Oh wow! Yo, wow! That is wild. I'm not gonna lie. That is fucking wild. Like, girl, you're not even. I mean, I get that, but it's still, it's and I get that, but I here's the thing though. Watching it, I can't, like, I can't give that a pass. I can't because I'm just like, then get some people who do know how to act. You know, like I get that they're new actors and stuff like that, but I can't give them a pass because I gotta watch it. And seriously, imagine that they're watching something that's subpar and being like, oh well, they're new actors. It's like no, no, then you should have got some people that actually knew how to act. Like maybe again, me CK, I'm more harsh. So I'm not knocking you. I'm glad you could sit there and give them a certain level of leeway. Um, that's good. Oh, you keep up with the Britt and Danny storyline. Okay. Yeah, well, at least you're in the loop. Oh, no, hell no. I was like, girl, you're on beyond the gates. Like, um, and no offense to soap operas, but I was like, yo, you're a soap opera actor, and you're not even like Susan Lucci level or or Eric Braeden level to be sitting there acting like that. Not that that matters, but like you're nowhere near that level. You're literally on a startup show that's been on for a year at most, and girl has some brass ones to sit there and be acting like that. Like that is nuts. That's quite a that's quite a level of delusional thinking right there. I mean, like I said, I would expect that level of bouginess from like Susan Lucci. And Susan Lucci, I met her in real life, and granted, I've never heard any bad stories, and she seems like she's pretty fucking chill. Like she seems like she's just a down to earth, sweet, sweet person. That's Susan Lucci. Yeah, it was like that's Susan Lucci. Like, yeah, Eric Braeden. Like, Eric Braeden level to be Smith acting like that. I mean, I wouldn't tolerate that shit from Susan Lucci or Eric Braeden, but like, not on that level. Oh, girl, you're not even a good actress. Like, I'm tired of people online saying Steve is not happy working with Kelly when he was her biggest supporter to bring back. Well, you got to remember something, Sean. Most people that go online and start saying stuff like that, they're idiots. Okay, they're general fucking retards. And either they say that to stir the pot, or they say that because they're fucking idiots. So she's nice, and her husband can raise some money for charity. Oh, you're talking about Eric Braden, right? Yeah. So honestly, to tell you the truth, Sean, the last people want to sit there and pay attention to his online channel. You know, people gonna be stupid. You know, I always sit there. I remember my friends sat there and said, like, not everyone should have access to the internet. The word is the word is that his new wife doesn't want to. Yeah, yeah, we're not fucking retards. The word is that his new wife doesn't want love scenes. Oh, Susan Lucci's husband. So okay, so Steve B's new wife doesn't want him having love scenes with other women, even though she married a soap star. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of brings me back to that whole Amanda thing. Remember the actor that plays Chase and Brooklyn was like, oh well, we're not gonna do love scenes anymore because we don't want to disrespect our partners. And I'm just like, then fucking quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not. No offense, but like, I feel like if you're in that young category and you start pulling that shit, you can just leave. Yeah, I was like, yo, this shit gets fucking wild. Like you married a fucking soap star, and you're gonna practically sit there and say, well, I don't want you to do a certain part of your job because it makes me feel insecure. Like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ron says Albert is that Amy Choi's husband in the promo when she said about I have no idea because I couldn't see his face. We couldn't see his face, so I have no idea, Ron. No, the ego's there. Yeah, it's Steve's new wife. So Steve's new wife doesn't really want him to do love scenes anymore. She married a soap actor and is not there and is pretty much like, I don't want him to do love scenes. What the fuck did you think you married? But I mean, like, dude got a year on his contract. I guess that's her name. I have no idea what whatever the new one is. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, she don't want to do love scenes. The soap actor. I ain't granted, and again, I don't even like love scenes and soap operas. I find it just to be stupid and cringy, just a general waste of time. She's a makeup artist and has been around soap operas. The love scenes are not romantic at all. They are technically, it makes no sense to be insecure like that. Yeah, it's true. What is that about that Sarah wants, to bring Johnny about the biopsy? Because it's probably going to be bad news, and she doesn't want her to be there by herself. Ron. That's why. So even Kelly's said it was sad he was leaving, and there was to be no more between them or very little. Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, like, you chose to marry her, so if you chose to marry some insecure woman that has a problem with an aspect of your job, then you're an idiot. Like, um, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you chose to marry an insecure woman, and like, you chose to marry anyone, and now it's affecting the job and the way the business is, and I can't with some of these people. Steve re-up with GH. What do you mean Steve re-up with GH? Like doesn't he only have like 2 years on his contract and his shit is up now? Did you hear something new? I mean, if it's only going to be a year, yes, it's stupid. She's kind of popular, so really, DOD, she knows who he was. How long is this new contract now? She's kind of popular, so really, she know who he is. Oh, he upped just a year. Okay. Hmm. I did not know that. Wow. Hmm. Well, that is interesting. It's funny too because people said for a hot minute, like, no, after 2 years he's gone. After 2 years he's gone. Then he signs up for another year. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So after the end, after the mid part of that year, watch he re-ups that contract. I guess he just won't play year by year, which in all reality makes sense. Of course he did. Of course he did. They threw a little more money at him. Like, there you go. All right, guys. Um, all right, guys. I guess I'll do another year since you're gonna, you know, give me some more money. Sure, why not? The usual yelling, screaming, and practically Smith is saying that I'm gonna disown you, and then decide to I was gonna sit there and say decide to get Liam back, but if she's smart, maybe she'll just stay away. I mean, the dude chose money over her, so like, how important is she really if he chose money? He chose like, I'm not gonna lie, that shit still kind of fucking blew me. Like, Dude literally sat there and chose a paycheck over her. Like, and I get it. He doesn't really make a lot of money and everything like that. But damn, like she didn't mean shit to you. Like, and she meant less to you than whatever what you And then of course, there's the whole Paulina and Lexi thing. Like that was nuts. Um like I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yo, Lexi came back just acting like a straight up bitch. And Paulina was just being the most passive aggressive, like non confrontational, like, no, I'm just gonna step back and let you two be happy. And then Lexi was like, oh, wow, okay, well, thank you. I would have told that chick to fucking take your thank you, and shove that shit. Like the minute she walked into the room, she was like, "I know who you are." Like, okay, little lady, you might wanna fucking calm down with that goddamn tone. Like, I don't know who you think you talking to like that. It's amazing. Like, Paulina's the person who'll sit there and have no problem sitting up there getting up in somebody's face when they disrespect her, but yet Lexi doesn't. She's just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll let you have my husband. I'll just walk away gracefully. Like, what the fuck are we doing at this point? Like, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about with Days of Our Lives. Like, I love that show, but sometimes they just do things. I'm like, I don't understand that. Yep, they're gonna go to a wedding that no one's gonna see. Yeah, they was not. I mean, granted, all they did was talk about memory lane, but to be fair, the chick that plays Kayla is celebrating 40 years from being on that show. So, and I didn't mind the flashbacks, except for the ones I already saw. So I was like, okay, I didn't like the fact it was 44 minutes, but like, yay, they're going to a wedding that no one's gonna see because you know the actor that plays Trip and Wendy are gone, and Ava, the actor that plays Ava, is on Young and the Restless. Oh, actually, the actress that plays Trip is on Young and the Restless. Where now, instead of playing mother and son, they're playing lovers. So yeah, she wants to be super passive aggressive because that's why I watch Paulina for her very passive aggressive, non confrontational ways. Like what I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Um, what's good, Jewish fan? I had to ask you a question, and I got to think about what it is too. But yeah, like I said, there's something that okay, yeah, there's something that's going on with that actor that plays Ethan because I feel like there's certain poses that he does. There's certain poses that he does, and I'm just like, what is going on with his body? Like, why is he making the poses that he's making? Like, I don't remember him ever actually acting like that or standing like that. Like, it's weird. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Um, and you know what? Again, just for Jade, I'm listen. I'm glad that Britt showed it is to show the band tattoo. Maybe and the thing is, like, he's been doing that for a hot minute, and I just noticed that today. Like, why does he keep standing like he does this whole thing where it's like I don't know. I don't I don't understand it, but um, you about the Britt Dante. What did you think of Britt and Dante scene yesterday? I felt like Dante was doing too much blaming Britt for everything. Like, I get string theory of like, you brung this mess to poor Charles and, you wanted to have a relationship with him, so he followed you. But I'm just like, bro, stop. Just fucking stop. Like, not everything is her fault. You have a problem, talk to fucking Lulu. Lulu's the one that been keeping you in the damn dark. So like, it got a little kind of annoying. Um, And I do have something to say about Dante. And this is kind of a defense in a sense. Dante's a wuss. Um, I no, like for real. Like you're not gonna sit there and blame everything on her. But okay, so here's my whole thing about Dante. Right? If somebody said, I think it was Monique said this, but other people brought it up as well. Right? So somebody was sitting there saying, like, listen, it's really hypocritical and it's out of pocket that Dante is sitting there breaking the law for his own son. But when it came towards Michael, he trusted the justice system and it failed him. With Rocco, he is literally destroying evidence. He was about to sit there and call Sonny to take him to the island or somewhere else. And they were like, well, how, it's really messed up because you didn't do that. You didn't do that for your brother. But I'm like, people do learn from their mistakes. And that's the thing. If you would have sat there and did the exact same thing, handled the exact same way that he handled it with Michael, people would have sat there and said, oh, well, he didn't learn anything. So now that he actually learned this lesson, people are just like, oh, he's being a hypocrite. I'm like, well, what the fuck is it? Do you want him to actually learn from his mistakes? Do you want him to keep sitting there making the same mistakes over and over again? Like, I feel like it's kind of acidine to some extent to sit there and just keep throwing that in his face. Like, yeah, he fucked up the whole Michael situation. But he was brung up to sit there and handle things a certain way. It backfired and it sucks like hell. But he corrected that by how he snipped there handling things with his son. Yeah, so like, I don't think so either. But some people are just like, oh, you've been a hypocrite. And like, I don't really, okay. Lulu and Dante need to take accountability for Rocco and his issues. Both of them need to stop blaming Britt. Yeah, exactly. It does get hell of annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, yo, like, yo. When Lulu confronted Dante, he literally said, "Don't you think I learned from my past?" Exactly. Uh, I understand where Lulu's coming from. Like, yo, let's get up out of here and stuff like that. But what I don't like is that she doesn't. She Like, she didn't even tell Dante about the fake passports and leaving Port Charles or whatever. And she makes these unilaterally decisions without including him. And then when he finds up, she's like, "Oh, well, I did what I did," and there's no apology. Like, she's not apologetic at all. She just like, "I did what I did, and it is what it is." And it's like, no, he's not just your son. You just make these one-side decisions without simply including him. You know. I understand why she wants to run, and I'm not even saying they're blaming her for it, but it's like, he's not just your son. Stop sitting there dismissing him and making decisions by yourself. So, oh, okay. I just knew it was stupid that Pauline didn't even sit there and ask Abe what he wanted. She was just like, nope, I'm just gonna, like, I'm just gonna sit there and make the decision for you. Like, oh, I'm doing you a favor. He didn't ask you to do him a favor. Like, what the hell are you doing? You doing that, like, boy. Lulu's a character I can't seem to like. Yeah, people have been sitting there saying like, "Yo, listen, Lulu needs to sit there and take another 5 year nap." Well, I mean, if somebody's going to sit there and take your son and not sit there and tell you and go against your wishes, what would you have them do then? I mean, she literally sat there and said, "Well, I'm going to do it. I don't care if you like it. I'm going to do it." So what he should not have sat there. He shouldn't have sat there and threatened to have cops follow her 24/7. But it's okay for her to sit there and say, "Well, I'm going to sit there and take our son, and that's it." You know what I'm saying? Like it was a response to her practically sitting there saying, "I'm going to do what I want to do." You know, he didn't just do it just to be a dick. You know, that's my whole thing. Sean says that's how I feel about Carly. Like, you're not just gonna sit there and take my son and practically sit there and say, "I'm gonna do it," and ain't shit you gonna do about it, and just expect me to just sit there and roll over and take it. Like, you know, Lulu seems to have it in her head that this is just her son and that's just it. That's the thing. Like, he didn't just say like, "Oh, I'm just gonna, use my power of authority." He's like, "No, you're not gonna just sit there and just take my son out the country." Like, she's been doing that for a hot minute. You know, even when she woke up, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit there and take Rocco, and he's gonna live with me." No, you can sit there and live in a Quartermain's house, and he can sit there and live with both of us. But in what universe do you have to sit there and think that you're just gonna you wake up and you decide, "Oh, I'm gonna sit there and take our son away from the house"? The fuck, and the fact that he just let her do that shit was just fucking insane to me. Like, no, there's enough rooms in here. Why is he just not there staying with you for? Have him just live in a new damn house because you just say so? What did you think of Britt agreeing to I thought that was the stupidest shit that I've seen Britt do. You want to sit there and let a teenager convince you to take him on a run with you when you have Huntington's disease and just leave his parents? Like, yeah, she should have said no, and she should have been firm about that shit. Having a teenager convince you to do something that stupid, I was like, girl, I was defending you for the most part with Dante, but like, nah, she does that with both Charlotte and Rocco. Yeah, and even Laura has sat there and said like, yo, you can't do that with Charlotte. Like, she loves her father. Like, you can't do that. Exactly, and I'm like, it is stupid. I think he was trying to get over Sam's death. Yeah, it's just like, again, it was laughable. You know, like GH has done some laughable shit this week. And I said on Wednesday for the people that wasn't here, the fact that Justine was asking Sonny for advice on how to prosecute this case with Isaiah was just fucking laughable. Girl, you're the DA. You're asking a mob boss how I should go about this fucking case. Like, like what am I watching? This is why, like, at this point, it's like I used to like Sonny, but I was like, Sonny's role in this show is just that shit needed to be over like years ago. Because this is where we're getting to. We're getting to the point where you have the local mobster posing up with the DA, and the DA is asking advice on how to. Remember, he sat there and said, "Can I see this search?" I was like, "Can I see this investigation thing?" Yeah, it's just this whole fucking thing is ridiculous. It's it is Jay's fan, but then that's when I have to laugh. Though that's when I have to sit there and start laughing. I'm just like, you know what, girl, you on your own. I was like, you on your own, girl. But again, this is exactly why maybe I'll put up a title next week. Like the Sunny character has definitely ran his course. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, his character has ran his course like years ago. Um, I think Sunny needs to just be off the damn show. This is beyond just a Justine problem. Like Sunny just don't need to be on the show at this point. Dude's been sitting there dealing with Sitwell for months and hasn't done a damn thing. What am I well, like? What am I watching? Sunny was, what I'm saying, like Sunny was going after Alcazar. He was going after Manny. And now it's just, oh, I got to sit there and lure him to a false sense of security. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Yeah, like I said, Britt is it's just stupid. That's why at times she's confessed about charging. She confused about charging Curtis because he's with her friend. It's stupid, and she should be able to do her job. And I'm also just like, maybe just pass it on to Molly. But then again, Molly would probably have that same level of conflict of interest. So it's like maybe Justine should, I don't know, maybe do her fucking job. Like maybe she should just do her fucking job. I said that before, and then I had to sit there and think like, this is again. Sometimes I look at this show and I'm like, this is why I'm kind of glad that I watched the other soap operas because as much as I love Jay, sometimes they start going in directions where it's like, and then they have a new character. Um, I like the fact that he's no nonsense. He's looking at the situation with Curtis. He's like, I'm not letting you go just because you're just used to you getting your way. Oh, he even sat there and told Dante, yo, if this is going to be like, you just doing favors for people left and right, then I'm out. So I'm just more surprised Jay's fan because like here you have so many damn people in this show, and you just decide to add one more. I was like, yo, listen, I would trade Joe for Geo and Emma because they don't do shit for this show. It's like you already have too many damn characters. Let somebody go. At this point, I almost don't even care who. Just let somebody go. If you had to, just take Gia and Emma. They ain't doing shit. They are not doing shit. It's so bad. But like I said, he seems like he's no nonsense. Who was the favorite? Well, it's not so much favorite, but he sat there and asked the other officer, like, "Yo, do you think that he's going to be able to talk his way out of this whole thing?" Because he just literally sat there and assaulted somebody in front of a room full of people, and he's like, "Does he really think he's going to sit there and just talk his way out of the situation?" But he was just more just like, is Dante the type of person where it's like, this person, he knows that person, he knows the mayor and everything like that. Like, he's just like, yo, is this going to be one of those things where it's like, I arrest somebody or I do something and then I'm in trouble. I shouldn't have did this. Like, nobody likes being second guessed. I think if it hadn't, I think if I haven't found your stream, I wouldn't be watching GH as much as I do. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, that's the thing, and that's the thing, Ariana. Like, oh yeah, it's definitely time to thin her. Um, I'll watch the show, but I generally have more fun talking about the show than I do sometimes watching it. And that's with most shows. Sometimes I have just an equal amount of fun talking about the show, you know? I think just his rapport, just how friendly he was with him. What's good, Lon? Lawanda? Oh, Lawanda Anderson. Okay. Let's everyone say hi to Lawanda. It was supposed to be paired with Trina, but the writers switched. Yeah, that was everyone's impression. Curtis going to feel like a fool when he finds out it wasn't Isaiah. He's gonna feel like a fool, but to be honest, even if he does apologize, that apology ain't gonna mean shit. Yes, let's everyone say what's up to Luanda. Welcome her into the chat, people. Also hit the like button because it does help. I haven't said that in a hot minute. It is 11 likes and 19 people in the chat. Oh, they are? Okay. I just, I so don't care about their scenes. Even sometimes their scenes individually, it's like, you know, but yeah, I think it's just the way he was talking to his rapport and everything like that, you know. And to be fair, like, Curtis was acting pretty entitled, talking about, oh, well, he didn't need to arrest me. We were going to sit there and work it out. Work what out? If this is, Broski was on the floor. If that's your way of working things out, no. Put on a bracelet, take his ass to jail. I guess I can see Joe's point. I think it's hard to not be friendly when you know the person, even if you're a cop. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, GH fan. This is why, when you're a professional, you have to separate the two. When you come into that police station, you can't sit there and be buddy buddy and friendly because it's going to come across like you're going to be given special favors and treatment and stuff. Isaiah was past working it out. Exactly. Like, Isaiah was on the floor, and the fact that he sat there and said, "Oh, well, he didn't need to sit there and put the handcuffs on me. I thought your boy was doing too much." You thought he was doing too much? He said words to you, and you hit him like a fucking barbarian. But he's doing too much. Get the fuck out of here. But no, that's the whole thing now. But saw a dog hairline on. I'm not gonna lie, that's a really good question. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at that shit. Um, he did look a little bit too fresh. Like, was that like fucking CGI or some shit like that? Like, but nah, GH man, that's why you have to sit there. When you're a professional, you have to sit there and separate those two. Yeah, no, it is. It's just, I mean, I will say this much though, GH man. Although I understand his concerns, I don't think that you should just jump right to, okay, I'm going to quit now. Be there for a little bit, get the lay of the land or whatever, before the first arrest that you make and you see that and you're already ready to bolt. Gorgeous Queen Cat Lady, Doug's hairline is painted on. I've been telling them that for a long time. Yeah. And that's assuming that he's even Doug. Oh yeah, I saw your review, cat lady too. Um, yeah, so you did a review, and I saw you in Ranty Ricardo's live stream. How friendly were they though? If they were saying hi to each other, and Curtis was just telling, yeah, no, they weren't like, hey brother, what's going on? Like they weren't doing all that, right? They weren't doing all that. So no. And I gotta go back and rewatch it. I don't think they were being like super friendly like that. I think he just maybe picked up on a vibe. Um, so I wouldn't sit there and say that. What's good, Dolomitics? I think one are trying to reunite Jack and Nikki. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Monday's going to be a repeat. I'm just going to sit there and say it right now. Monday is going to be a repeat. Yeah, sure. Um, but the thing is, I always go to Grant and Ricardo's live stream from time to time. I go in there and see what she's talking about and stuff. So it just so happens you were there today. But how's everything going with you? How's the writing and stuff? Oh, also, it's going to be Ariana's birthday on Sunday. Because tomorrow I'm not going to be streaming, but Sunday I will. So we'll be also celebrating her birthday. Thanks for being patient. I just want to understand the whole situation. Ah, it's all good, JH, man. That's why I'm here. You know? So no, you don't have to be sorry. It's only if I'm talking to a lot of people and I can't get to your comment, but like, no, you good. So, I appreciate you being here, JH fan. It's good. Had to shift my release schedule so I won't get burnt out. Yeah, yeah, I get that. I don't know if you saw my video. I put out a members video, um, just explaining why I don't stream as much as I used to. Back then I was streaming like 7 days a week. Um, but yeah, I put out that video, so like I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, this Sunday, it's gonna be her birthday. Yeah, Sean, have a great night, and I will sit there and see you on Sunday. Yeah, it was a lot. It was way too much. Like it was way too much. Then it was just days where it's like, listen, I'm gonna sit there and kind of chill for tonight, and like after all, I was like, yeah, this is not like I felt like I was asking permission to sit there and take the day off. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Looks like next week Diane's going to be ghosting her family. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Peggy. I did see a comment online when someone said they could really understand why Joe really don't like Curtis because of his stink attitude. He, he had an entitled attitude, but yes, I do see that though too. If it's Doug, well, first of all, they had the best cliffhanger. Um, I'm wondering if it's Doug, if it's not Doug. Um, so like I said, out of all five of the soaps, Beyond the Gates had the best cliffhanger. Yeah, they literally had the best cliffhanger. Um, so I like I've been given Beyond the Gates shit for a long time. So I feel if Beyond the Gates is doing a lot better, it's because of me. Okay, because I've been literally on their ass for a whole year, and I think they finally started to listen. Because like literally in 1 week, it got so much more better. I mean, minus the whole quintillion bullshit. Um, Close to snapping the road dog turns up alive. Um, yes, Peggy, I'm actually responsible for literally making Beyond the Gates actually good again. Doesn't mean I have multiple personalities or something. Can she pick a personality and stick with it? What do you mean by that? I mean, she's always been operating on dingbat mode. Like, I don't understand. Like, what else? Just on a wild note, I would sit there and say this much. I think Warren Like to Live, Vicky Buchanan, is a way better character than Tracy Quarterman. Like dead ass serious. I mean, that's just me personally. I think that Vicky Buchanan from Like to Live is a better character than fucking Tracy Quarterman. And then there's Mina. Well, I mean, I mean, but everyone has their mean side, so geez, man. Like I could be nice at times, but I could be an absolute fucking asshole. Oh, there was a point in the stream a few minutes ago that I was about to be an asshole, and I had to literally sit there and stop myself. So everyone has their moments where they can be nice and they can be an ass. Like No, I'm just talking about Vicky. I'm just talking about Vicky. Just Vicky. No, just Vicky. No, we all got sides of us, Chase, man. Like you know. Oh no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I just like I said, like we all have our different sides. The Havlin, how are you doing tonight? I hope you are well. It's good to see you. Too bad CBS and Dix. I would definitely love to sit there and see some more Annie Dutton. I'm glad to hear that. The Havlin. Glad to hear that. No, because the thing is, GH fan, is that a cycle is usually kind of smart and they're kind of methodical. Nina doesn't have that, you know. No, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me. I'm sure you're gonna tell me, Peggy. I'm glad to hear that happened. I'm glad you're good. It is Friday, so if you made it, it's actually really funny. It's actually funny. I was gonna get it today, and I don't know why I didn't. Well, I plan on watching a movie, so I was gonna sit there and have ice cream. So I'm just gonna do that this weekend. I'll probably do that Sunday. I'll do that Sunday. Um, so yeah, I'll do that Sunday. We're gonna have a good time on Sunday, Cat Lady. What's good, Deluxe? It was so funny. I was at the store too. I could have so much fun. I could have, I could have so much fun with Psycho. You're basically right. Yeah, I'm just like, yo, listen, like, psychotic, like, you are smart, you're methodical, you know? Dingbat, you're just fucking dingbat. And again, to be fair, like, she's rich. She's been on easy mode her whole life. Who do you think will save Drew from Willow? I think it'll be Liz. I think it'll be Liz. I'll be honest, I don't want Drew to be redeemed. I don't. I don't want Drew to be redeemed. I want Drew to dial it up. Like, he's already just being an asshole, unlikable. I want him to dial that shit up to 10 and then break the fucking knob. Um, I don't need him to be redeemed. You know, I don't no, I'm good. I want him to dial it up. That's what I want. He has been in that wheelchair for far too long, and I think it's time for him to come back. Like, I miss that level of chaos and drama that he brought to the show. I mean, like I said, it's amazing how she fails going upwards. Like it's just like Chick was literally involved in a kidnapping plot, and she doesn't just keep her job; she gets a fucking promotion. Isn't me? Carly is getting crazy. Nina's second Valentine. Well, I mean, that's how it is, GH man. 10 people go watch the show, we could sit there and have 10 different views of how we see characters. Um, that's what's fun. I guess I just don't consider myself like other soap fans because I never really sit there and say I hate somebody. Like, even though it's fiction, like, I use hate for like actual things that I feel that matters to generally hate. Um, but, maybe I'm just not part of the soap lingo. Cameron Mason said he's filming in June for 3 weeks. Be done with the chair, and there's oh, good, good. This like this show for me personally needs Drew to be back, being an asshole, and I don't tend to focus on that, to be honest, and I don't feel like she's necessarily mean and nasty. I really don't. I felt she Here's the thing. I felt she was mean and nasty when Michelle Stafford played her, and she was being nasty and rude and stuff like that to Willow. Um, I never really saw her as mean and nasty. I mean, that's just me personally, you know. I saw her just as a dingbat and stuff, you know. But she come, yeah. Here's the thing. Hopefully, Sunny decides to actually do something to sit well. Um, I mean, his plan right now is to flip Pascal into working for him. I remember that at GH man. I like I said, for me personally, I don't see her as mean and nasty. I saw her being mean and nasty with the whole Michelle Stafford version. That was just more like selfish, you know, a little heartless to some extent, but mostly selfish because she wanted what she wanted and she didn't care. I need Drew to be really, really angry. Exactly. That's why I said, turn that bitch up. Huh. Oh, oh, soaps and death. Okay. I, I thought you was gonna sit there and say soap dirt with fucking Belinda. Oh man, Belinda, Belinda, Belinda. I don't know. I just like I said, I'll be glad. I'll be glad when he comes back. He'd be a raging asshole. Yeah, I know what you mean. Soaps and death. It's crazy though, cause like they had an Instagram they had an Instagram page, and like that shit's just collecting fucking dust at this point. Yeah, I felt like she became more dingbatish. You know, with Michelle Stafford, she was definitely because you know again Michelle Stafford just knows how to play Phyllis, and there is times where Phyllis can be like nasty and condescending and just you know rude as shit. Um, and I'm not saying Nina can't be those things, but her tendency just came more as a dingbat. You know, he loves to ask the ass Drew is. Oh, the asshole Drew is. Yeah. Oh, okay, Daphne. Thank you. Yeah, like yo, this show fucking like for me. This show needs that because I mean, what the fuck are they doing with? What are they doing with? And the second thing is, at least Rocco and Charlotte are doing something right. They're interested, but Gio and Emma, like every time I see them together, I'm like, all right, here we go with this shit. It was like, here we go with this shit, and I get it. You know, they need lovey-dovey scenes, but like today, they had Christina and they had Molly, and they didn't do a damn thing in this episode. Nothing. I mean, it was just more the PSA about endometriosis or however you pronounce it. I'm like, all right, we get it. It's a real thing. Like I've been doing this. Y'all been doing this PSA for like what 2 months now. I'm almost yelling at the TV like, all right, guys, get rid of rest. Like we get it. But, you know, it's GH and the powers that be. I forgot about them today. Yeah, I know. Like I mentioned them just because I was like, all right, you know, let me. Because I know somebody in the comment section was like, you didn't mention them. Like there's no need to. Like, what am I mentioning? You never forgave Gio for his stink attitude after you found out the truth. Yeah, I did. I just didn't sit there and say I forgave her. I kind of just moved on. Um, no, it's not like I never forgave him. I just kind of moved on. We never sat there and really talked about it. So that was just my way of just moving on from it. It's just old at this point. And like, uh, I know why Gio and Emma are there. I know why that stuff is there. I just don't care. It almost seems like it's mandatory. Like, remember they did that whole thing about the dust mites or some shit like that with the eyes? I mean, I was on it for a while, yeah. But after a while, I just kind of just let it go. You know, I was on it for a while. I don't remember how long. But I think I just kind of just started talking about other stuff, and um, like I brought it up when they went on that stupid trip. Was good, Allison. I brought it up when they went on that stupid trip to New York, but it was just more like, oh, he still haven't forgiven his family about the music and the violin. It's like, but it wasn't the same fury where it's like I was being kind of an asshole about it. It's just more like in mentioning passing. So I have to sit there and think about something that I genuinely have just not. No, I don't like seeing them because they're boring. I don't. I generally don't like seeing them because they're fucking boring. They don't do anything, and all you constantly do is sit there and make out and kiss and lovey dovey and it's like I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about the music. It's just like I'm good, Allison. I survived today, and I'm very proud of myself. Thank you for asking. This is most that they have used Christina in years ever since Kate has set the road. Where years ago we barely saw Christina. Yeah, yeah. No, dude, man, they just don't do anything, you know. Uh, yeah, yeah, I do. Like her days are over. And I know people will sit there and constantly say, but she's a legend, and she's been on the show for years, and she, bridges the gap, and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, listen, her stuff was great in the '90s, and the '80s. Like, they just keep her around at this point. It's like keeping that old lamp that you know you should probably just throw out, but you're like, I had it for so long. You're kind of just a pack rat about it. That's what Felicia's like. Yo, Liz was out of pocket for grabbing that passport. Let this guy exactly what she deserved, being thrown in a goddamn closet for not minding her business. She likes money. She likes a paycheck. I don't think it has anything to do with like having patience. And she likes having a paycheck. So I get it, you know. Shit is rough out here. Seriously, that's what I feel like she's like that. You know, that piece of furniture that you have for years and you don't want to throw out because you feel guilty about it. Yeah, she was not fucking around. I was like, was you not get in that goddamn closet? She's all like, oh, let me go, let me go. I'm like, no, they do. I really hate the powers that made Anna go crazy. Hmm. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Lulu gets what she deserved keeping this from Dante. She might have. I mean, she seemed like she shoved in that goddamn closet pretty hard, which she rightfully deserved. I love Dark Willow. Good. And I can stop seeing. Then I can stop seeing Emma cry all the goddamn time. Another thing I'm just kind of tired of. I just sit there seeing Emma cry all the damn time. Like y'all don't have anything else for Emma to do. I swear. There was something else to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the sad thing is that when Emma first came to town, she actually did have a good storyline with the whole Dalton thing and everything like that. Like she did. She had a good story when she came on. Then that dried up, and I thought she was gone. And it seemed like they just didn't know what to do with her. Then they started doing all this corny ass shit. Them going to New York and what was this guy named Michael Scott or some shit? I can't stand seeing Sharon cry. I'm not gonna lie, I can't stand her voice sometimes. When she starts doing that whole questioning and nagging shit, I can't. No, I thought she deserved to be shoved in the closet because she was being annoying. You know, asking Britt all these damn questions. Like, you're not her superior. Like, you're not her superior. You sit there looking around, asking her 20 something questions and acting like, well, I'm not leaving until you give me answers. It's none of your goddamn business. I don't report to you anymore. You want to be nosy? That's what you ask get. That's what you ass get. You ass get a trip right to the goddamn closet, head first. Preferably head first. Mind the business that pays you because it ain't hers. Maybe she'll learn that lesson the next time she decides to start being all nosy and shit. I don't like nosy ass people. You know, like her voice just gets annoying. It's just so like whiny and like asking Rocco why was exactly asking Rock why are you there? None of your goddamn business. Don't you have a nurse's station to manage and employees to sit there and do? I think she gonna know her place next time. Mind the business that pays you exactly. You know, I did get that from DC, but it's true, Tracy. Exactly. She'll know that for next time when a potential crime is happening. I feel like those businesses goes out the window. I feel like whose business it goes out the window. Also, she cares about Dante. None of her goddamn business. Like, I get what you're trying to say, and you're trying to sit there and stick up for Liz, but in all reality, I'm not changing my position. Mind your goddamn business. It's not your place. It's not her son. Okay, and she doesn't need to sit there and report to him. She doesn't need to sit there and report to her. She ain't her boss. You asking questions like, why is Rocco there? None of your fucking business. Where are your goddamn kids? How about you sit there and worry about what your kids are? You got three kids. Do you know what they are? Sit there worried about what somebody else's kid is doing in the hospital. Seriously, I do not like a nosy ass goddamn Karen. And it's sad that they actually got her in that damn Liz doing too much. Exactly. She got that trip to the fucking closet at first. We're like, where the hell is Aiden? Where's Aiden? Is he still sitting there dating that boy? What was his name? I don't even remember the boy's name that he was dating. It's crazy. Her son came out the closet and her ass got shut and her ass got shoved in the closet. Well, the thing is, Jay's fan, dang me out there. Well, the thing is, Jay's fan, I understood when she got to that point, but her walking in there asking questions like, "What is he doing there?" You're missing the point, Jay's fan. You're missing the point. And I don't know if you're doing that on purpose, but I feel like you're missing the point. The point is, it was none of her business when Rocco walked in there, asking questions like, "What is he doing there?" No, where are your kids at? Is Is your son still dating that boy? What's going on with Cameron in college? You still Smith there dating that chick? Like, how's his grades doing? Okay. Is he getting straight A's? Like, what are you paying for college for? Nah, you too busy Smith their ass and where somebody else's kid is at. Fuck out of here. What's good, Jonathan? Those are the questions that need to be going in their head, not Dante or what's going on with her or what's going on with his kid. What's going on with her kids? Yeah, I saw the previews, Jonathan. I did, and I got a lot to. How about doing your job? Exactly. Don't you have some nurses or whatever to sit there and like boss around and shit? It's not they're worrying about what somebody else's kid's doing. Fuck out of here. That's what happens when you being nosy. You go in the closets head first, like you deserve to. But yes, Jonathan. Patty got mad just as fast as Phil's like, Matt, how dare you piss off both crazy chicks? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, if they actually go through with that, I'm sit there and I said this before, Jonathan. They actually go through with that, they go through with that trial, Days of Our Lives needs to be canceled. Cause that seriously, Aaron, that's what exactly need that's exactly what Liz gets. You know? She'll think about this shit next time before she start trying to ask my 24 start asking people 20 questions and shit. Um like, nah, we're not doing this. I'm not trying to come at you sideways, Jay fam, but like I don't deal with nosy ass Karens on any level. But no, again, Jay, again, Jonathan, like they go through with this whole manslaughter trial. Um, let's not talk about what Liz should get. Yeah, she got exactly what she deserved. Shoved in the closet head first. Maybe every time she rubs her head, she'll sit there and realize what she shouldn't have did, and don't do it again. That's what needs to happen. But but yeah, JH man, that's just how I feel about it. It's not gonna change. So I'm not coming at you sideways, but when I feel a certain way about something, it's not changing. Um, could be a twin, could be a hallucination. I will, but yeah, no, just I got a lot to say about Days of Our Lives too. Like Lexi was out of pocket. Paulina, Paulina was like very passive aggressive. Jonathan, you watched Days of Our Lives for a while. How often have you seen? Okay, I'm going to talk about Days first for a hot minute. How often have you seen Paulina be that passive aggressive and just roll over? When somebody comes at Paulina, she comes at somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. It's Abe's wife and everything like that. But like the minute that Paulina walked into that room, Lexi was like, "Oh, I know who you are." Like, oh hell no. Then she just started going on and on and on and on. I was like, yo, this woman is just meant to act like a bitch to you. You just want to take it? And then Lexi sat there and said, thank you. I was like, yo, this is why I gotta start drinking Starbucks. I gotta start drinking Starbucks drinks. Because Duncan isn't doing it for me when I get ready to watch Days of Our Lives. Like I need something strong. She wonders why Charlotte chose Valentine over her. Yeah, she tends to make unilateral decisions and be unapologetic about it. And then she just sits there and says, "But I'm a Spencer." Yeah, I was like, yo, this chick. Yeah, I started realizing that, Ariana, especially this week, because like Days is about to do some stupid shit with this whole Amy trial and trying to charge her with manslaughter. I'm like, girl, listen, I read up on cyberbullying. You need way more than a simple sentence of you need to delete yourself to even begin to do that shit. And they go back and forth. And I think Amy's gonna sit there and say, well, when Holly did it, she was being a mean girl. But when my daughter did it, she just had mental health problems. I'm like, yo, I was like, yo, Days of Our Lives needs to be fucking canceled at that point. I thought she was hell out of pocket. You don't know that chick from a hole in the wall. And she came at her with the biggest, bitchiest, nasty attitude possible. For somebody that you just met. I'm like, Paulina, you just want to, like, what made me annoyed was that Paulina just stood there and just took it. Okay, Paulina has no problem putting hands on people or anything like that. She'll stand up to fucking EJ and anybody else. And I get it. It's Lexi. But, like, still, really? You just want to just sit there and just take that shit? Like, that whole fucking scene just, like, it just, it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Um, and Dingbat Anna. Days of Our Life. How can I to have as someone who has mental health? You know the reason why I don't, Jay's fan, because actions have consequences. And I'm sorry, but you're not just going to sit there and tell me, well, I have mental health problems, so when I do it, it's okay. When I do it, I shouldn't sit there and get any consequences. Because what about the victim? What about the victim? I guess they just supposed to sit there and just shrug it off and say, well, nothing I can sit there and do. They have mental health problems. Like, no, no. Now, that's the problem with the American justice system and just how fucked up it is. You know, you get to just sit there and claim, well, I did it because I have mental health problems. Okay, so like, like no consequences happens, and I'm supposed to sit there and just suck it up and take it like a champ. That shit don't sit right with me. It doesn't. I bet if the trial doesn't go Amy's way, it should. Yeah, I remember. I remember you saying that before. Oh, do you have the clips, or you think you're gonna be able to do it tomorrow? We still have time because it's Sunday, but um, I think I can kind of get started on some of them. And I'm not being dismissive, GH fan, but like I just have a problem because I feel like a lot of times it's just like I'm not saying that like I get mental health, and I also sit there and I look at it from the victim side, like you know, okay, all right, I just no problem. I just want to make sure we're still on for Sunday. All right, but that's cool though. Just checking, just checking. Um, oh, okay, Jack and Gwen. No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. The thing is, Jade fan, I have a more harsher approach. That doesn't mean I don't. consider that into a factor. You know, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I just you know me, Jonathan. You know I like to sit there and start getting on that stuff as soon as possible. But that's only because I just like to sit there and try to do a good job with those type of streams. You know, like I actually had like I there was a part I messed up on. I think I told you the Ice Princess, and I was able to actually fix that shit. And I had to sit there and remember where it was. I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, where is it? And I get a J's fan. I do. I mean, here's the thing. It's not so much like I just come across as an asshole. I'm just very aggressive, but like it's I've seen it happen too many times, and then I've seen just the victim just being like, "Well, damn, man, that just sucks." And it's like, well, they got out early, whatever, because of mental health. It's like honestly, tell you the truth, J's fan, that the story's a little more different than that. Like, you know, the character Amy is defending her daughter. Um, I don't, what's the thing say it? So no, Allison, I'm not streaming tomorrow, but I'll be streaming on Sunday. Though. I'll be streaming on Sunday. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be going out. Um, it's just I don't like the fact that the mother is trying to use mental health. And in reality, she's grieving and she's using that as an excuse. She doesn't want to sit there and face the fact that like her daughter was just mean and a bully, and maybe on some sort of level she felt like she failed her daughter, and she can't accept that. And instead, she's just trying to sit there and use mental health as a you know. Well, also Dante will too. Yeah, and I get that, Allison. But then I'm just like, okay, well, what about the victims, though? Yeah, I've seen it all the time, Jewish man. And I'm not sitting there saying I don't take that into account, but I'm always sitting there thinking about the victim and how they're dealing with it. You know, trust me, Jay fan. Like every time I go to the city, I always have to have a you know head on a swivel to put it lightly. If somebody does something, it's a mental health problem, and it's like, yeah, I'm like, I'm not trying to be a statistic, so I wish they would unleash Sunny. The sad thing is, and see, this is my whole thing, Jonathan. Like, I know some people will sit there and say, "Well, you're being a hypocrite because," but at the same time, I mean, think about this, Joe. Have a night, Latasha. But think about this, though. Okay, the mother's grieving. She walks in the house and she sees the woman that said nasty things about her daughter online kissing Kate. Like she just essentially buried her daughter. And she walks in the house and she sees her not grieving, not upset, not anything, just making out. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I can understand why Amy's upset. You know, that's what I'm saying. Just because someone is mentally ill doesn't mean they shouldn't be. Yes, exactly, and I agree with that. I 100% agree with Allison. I didn't know what storyline you were talking about until you brought up Amy. I totally agree with you. Her daughter has been a ticking time bomb for a long time. I'm more surprised that you know about that. That's pretty interesting, GH fan. Interesting. I think that's why Sarah kind of fuck Jack. and Gwen. Jack coming over, um, trying to make peace with Gwen and saying, listen, I want us to sit there and have a relationship. It sounded all good and great until he said, well, the anniversary of Abby's death is coming up and da 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 da, and I think it's time for us to sit there and make peace. You know what that came across as? I'm sad about my daughter dying, and I haven't really spent a lot of time with you, but I don't want to feel sad today, so I'm going to acknowledge you today as my daughter. Like, serious? Like, that's how I took it. Because remember, she sat there and said, like, so you didn't reach out before because, your wife and everything like that would have a problem. So your wife's feelings and how she would have dealt with it was more important than having a relationship with your daughter. And now you're only reaching out because it's coming close to Abigail's and death anniversary or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that was supposed to come across as a sweet moment, but I just kind of felt like being a selfish asshole. Like on some real shit. I don't know. You tell me what you thought. It's crazy. Don't they have a homicide? Yes. Yes, they do. Uh, Rachel, who is Kristen's daughter, and Kristen is also a homicidal nut job. So not exactly mother of the year. How about that homeland? How about that homeland? Right? Uh, I don't know. I just know it's just a lot of people were not happy with they were not happy with the ending. I kind of checked out a little bit because I felt like the team just became, well, terrorists. I still love the show as a whole, but they I wasn't a fan of that. I was not a fan of that. I'm like, not all the suits were bad, and the suits weren't the problem. I think it was Stanley. I think Stanley Egger or somebody was like, "Yo, listen, it's about people. Like, it's not even about the suits. It's about people and their greed." I know he tried to make it some metaphor about like, it has to feed the corporation or whatever, but this is just about money and greed. It's like suits aren't the problem. People are the fucking problem. The evil in their hearts is the problem, not suits. Like, you're killing all suits. Not all of them are bad. I'm like, you're almost kind of worse than the homeland. She's still on after 30 years. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times that watching Kristen could be fun. And I've always liked Kristen up until this point. No, but that one was. It wasn't going to take away the power. It was like he literally was going to. No, no, that virus was actually meant to kill all suits. Why do you think that Huey had to sit there and stop him at the end? Because he was like, "Yo, listen, it's going to kill all the suits in the building, and then over time, it's going to sit there and kill all suits on the planet." And that's why Kamiko and Starlight was like, "No, that's fine." They weren't. They were ready to go. That's why they was like they're trying to get the you know like become immune to it because it was going to kill everyone. It was not just going to take away the virus. I'm like, that's why I had a problem with it. They, yeah, that's what I had a problem with. I'm like, yeah, Homeland is bad, but like, y'all killing everybody. Like, there's kids that have that stuff in their system. Like, it's just like kind of checked out. I was like, oh, cool. We kill Homeland. I was like, what about Soldier Boy? Nah, we don't got time for that. We're just gonna end it right here. Yeah. Um. I mean, like I said, I used to like Kristen. I just think now she's doing too much. She's doing too damn much. Like she want to kill her nephew. She wants to sit there and try to um have Xander kill her brother. I'm like, and that's why Huey ended up barfing. You know who? Even that whole ending. Just let me ask you a question, Jonathan. What's the showrunner's name? Eric Knefsky. Was he the same person from Supernatural? He burned Carly. Oh, she buried Carly Manning alive. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that because first of all, I was like, wait, there's another Carly. I was like, wait, the soap world allowed to have another person named Carly on? Like, that's crazy. I trying to find pictures of this other Carly person. Oh, Kresge, Eric Kresge. Yeah, wait, was he the person that also did Supernatural? Oh, thank you. I mean, here's the thing: she's always been a loose cannon, but at least her stuff makes some sort of sense. Oh, that was before G's Carly. Okay, I feel like he has this thing where it's like he kind of does a rush job. Like I get that he had a deadline, there's all the other excuses and stuff like that, but like I felt like I almost kind of felt like we were going right back into Supernatural, where it's like people sat there and was like, "Am I really happy with this ending?" Like even Jensen Ackles is like he had to think about like was he happy with the ending? I wasn't really happy with the ending. I just kind of went with it. Early '90s. Okay, so yeah, this was before Carly. Okay, all right. It's just I know that a lot of these soaps they usually have people that have the same name on some level, but I've never seen somebody else named Carly, right? And even when they had two Fens on, like B&B Fen and GH Fen, B&B would sit there and call him Finnegan. They wouldn't really call him Fen too much. They started really calling him Finnegan. Actress who played Carly was on the same show as Laura. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. So like even Days of Our Lives, Stephanie, she's called Steph. But on B&B, she's called Steffi. They kind of make sure that the characters. Oh, Guiding Light. Okay. They kind of make sure that the characters don't you know even if they have the same name, that they're trying to make them somewhat different. They couldn't do that with Victor though. Like YNR's Victor, and at the time they had Dave's Victor. They couldn't do it. You know, Sammy or Sam. So, just FYI, for anyone that watches B&B, and Days has Sunny, and Cheech also has Sunny. Yep. Yeah, Cheech did have Victor. He did, but he was more of a Like technically they did, but like he wasn't like a stayed character. Like he came on, he caused his trouble for a while, then he would leave. But like Victor Kiriakis was a mainstay. Victor Newman was a mainstay. Victor Cassadine came in there, he fucked up shit or whatever, but he wasn't like, you know, he wasn't there. But yes, you are correct. You are correct. And yeah, Sonny and Sonny, Lucas and Lucas. No, I don't really think they had Lucas on any other show. Okay, yeah, technically they had Lucas. They had Lucas on Days. They had Lucas on GH. They didn't say that long. Yeah, you had Lucas on Days, Lucas on GH. I'm. Oh yeah, Nicholas. You had Nicholas on GH, and you had Nicholas on YNR. But they mainly called the other. They mainly called YNR Nick, where GH they would just call him Nicholas. Um, I felt like that was a pattern with them. You know. Yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, true. Nick Fallon. You're right. Yeah. Nick, and Nicholas. Well, actually, Nicholas, Nick, and Nick. And it's weird because they would sit there and spell, like whenever I sit there and watch YNR, it's always spelled NIC. Have a night, GH fan. Have a great weekend, and I'll sit there and see you next week. Anyway, it is actually getting pretty late, and I don't feel like trying to drag my ass out of bed so late. So, yeah. But yes, my end the stream here. I do want to thank everyone for joining. This was a lot of fun. I won't be on tomorrow, but I'll be on Sunday, and we'll have a great time. Really? There was another character named Nicholas? I feel like there's more characters' names too, and I can't remember it. So we'll talk more about that on Sunday too. I had one at the tip of my head, and I just can't think of it though. Have a night, Tracy Steve. Have a night, my Queen Cat Lady. Have a night, CK. Have a night, Allison. Yes, I'll sit there and see you Sunday. Yes, we will be doing Mitch Lawrence. Nicholas is Carly Manning's son. Okay. Have a good night, Ariana. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure to see you. And yeah, we'll sit there and see you Sunday to celebrate your birthday. Have a night, CK. I think I said have a good night. Johnson says join us for another edition of Silk Chat with our Bostic. Thank you. Have a good night, Dollar Medics. Oh, you're right. Yeah. John McBrain, Days and John. There's more too. And I had one and I totally forgot what it was. Excited to see the stream. Yes, me too. Thank you, Ariana. Good night, everyone. And hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. I have one, but I'll think of it and I'll sit there and say it on Sunday. Yes, have a good night, everyone. And yeah.